What's going on, live session? It's your boy Phrankleen. Let's see who's online. Anyways, welcome to another live session with your boy Phrankleen. So basically, this today's topic. If you can see me, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Do it now. If you can see me, if you can hear me. What's going on, people? Thank God it's Friday. Who's looking forward to the weekend? What's up? Shukbar, Kazim. What's going on, people? I'm all right, thank you. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Edith. Right, hit the like button. Hit the like. There's 44 people online. Hit the like button so we can gain more traction, okay? What's up, people? Anyways, so couple of days ago, I made a video about, Nigeria and 6 other countries, being added to, the ban list and all that stuff. And, some of you got it. And as usual, I had some people in my inbox or even in the comment section. It went as bad as some people even took it personally and they were trying to attack me. I don't get it. So I've had to block some people's behind because they started disrespecting my person when I didn't disrespect anybody. I'm only talking about a global news that's already out there. Now, I'd like to clarify something very quickly, then we carry on talking about today's topic. You see, the thing that makes me laugh about some people when, particularly about the last video, some folks were like, oh, Phrankleen, oh, you don't get it. Donald Trump has an agenda. The whole having Nigeria and 6 other nations on the ban list is because his agenda for the American people. What? So you think in your tiny little mind that I don't know that Donald Trump has an agenda? Donald Trump is a politician. He's an American president. He's not the Nigerian president or Tanzanian president or the president of Belarus. So when Donald Trump was going to get into power, I'm not an American. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like what he represents. But the guy sold his idea to American people. Whether bigoted, neck deep in prejudice, those that bought into the Donald Trump idea gave Donald Trump their vote. Maybe the whole voting system was rigged, as being speculated, I'm not sure. But the point is, they voted him in, and he has openly talked about he was going to do X, Y, Z about the immigration system of America. And as I always say, the problem that we have as Africans is the sense of entitlement. That thing is like a virus that's basically eating into the fibers of our bodies and our soul. We feel entitled. We feel that the American immigration system, the UK immigration system, the EU immigration system should purposely be made lapse, should purposely be damaged. The bar needs to be lowered for them to allow people to violate it. So as soon as things get tightened up, we start to talk about, I don't like Donald Trump. Who cares about Donald Trump? Like me, you're probably never going to meet him in person the rest of your days. You get what I'm saying? But he has the American interest at heart. Can you imagine Donald Trump being the president of America and catering to the affairs of Nigeria? If Donald Trump sits down and strikes a deal with a, say, Nigerian president, for example, it will be in the best interest of America. So why am I talking about this? When people are moaning, we are complaining. you come online, and and even some of you black folks that say you are pro Trump and all that, you're within your rights to support Donald Trump, whatever floats your boat. People talk about Donald Trump is this, he's prejudiced. I think it's nonsense. What about the African leaders? What about the leaders? So for example, if I'm based in Nigeria, I mean, I'm a Nigerian, right? I should direct my anger towards the Nigerian leaders who are failing their citizens on a daily basis. But instead, some of you people are watching this content, you're getting angry, you're throwing your anger at Donald Trump and the American administration. I'm sorry, respectfully, but I think it's the height of foolishness. The sense of entitlement amongst black folks is absolutely unbelievable. You want a system that will be lapsed so that we can abuse it, so I can bring 1,000 of my relatives, we can just jump over the broken fence, and yeah, because why? Yeah, because because yeah. No. No. I understand Donald Trump is going through the whole impeachment thing. Whatever be the outcome, good luck to him, right? But when people get angry, I laugh. You are angry at the American system because they are tightening their immigration rules. Who are you? Like, for example, even though I'm a British citizen here in the UK, they've got the Home Office, they've got the UK Border Force. They control their affairs. The only thing I use my platform for when I talk to my people, black folks, is nobody's asking you not to travel. If you want to go to Canada, if you want to come to United Kingdom, all I'm saying is do it properly. Because if all you have on your mind is how you want to sneak into England and you want to go and F over their immigration rules, you have yourself to blame. Why you? It's like coming here now. It's like me being mad at. I understand. This is why I make a video, right? Listen, in one of my videos that went viral when I, said stop, they stop coming to UK universities and start and all that. I can see what's going on. This is what I was saying to people: the sense of entitlement. The British people don't give a toss. They make immigration rules. They fine tune their rules to cater to their selfish interest. It's their country. But you see, you have the African leaders are spineless. They are corrupt. It doesn't mean they're not corrupt. Oh, there's corruption in England. Oh, there is corruption in the justice system. There is corruption in the police force. There's corruption in the local authorities. There is. But you're not going to find a police officer pull you over on the road and say, oh, God, how far now? Let me have £20 now. And ask you for £20 before he can let you drive off. You're not going to go for a job interview here and then some PA in the office is going to say, oh, before you can get shortlisted for the final 5 for the job interview, I need you to pay me £1,000. It doesn't mean the society hasn't got its degree of failings, but they make the system work for them. That's why we are here. In fact, I've said it before, nothing is free abroad. People bust their backside. You pay for electricity, you pay for everything. Nothing is free. The tax system is there to cater for the pensioners, those that are out of employment. Everything is done in such a way that you have bare minimum to survive, right? But when people talk about you're coming all the way from wherever you're coming from. You are coming. You have this sense. This is why some of our people get into the system. They find it really difficult to integrate. They don't understand. They get frustrated and they blame everybody except themselves. Now, the birth tourism, they put a clamp on it. Let me read this to you very quickly. The U.S. Department of State has unveiled new rules to deter pregnant women from traveling to the U.S. to give birth. The policy takes effect on Friday, which is today, and is intended as a crackdown on what is known as birth tourism. Under the rule, pregnant women applying for U.S. visas may need to prove they have a specific reason for travel other than giving birth on U.S. So I don't know how they're going to implement that because it's apart from looking at you through the glass and saying, "Are you pregnant?" And then maybe try to use a psychological card to try to catch you out based on your behavioral pattern of body language. Except for those women that are, glaringly, you got a baby bump, swollen nose and lips, and you're walking like a penguin that can physically tell that you're pregnant. I don't know how the implementation, but anyway, let's crack on. Under the rule, pregnant women applying for U.S. visas may need to prove they have a specific reason for travel. Urine test may be one of those things. Somebody's saying urine test. Nearly all children born in the U.S. get automatic citizenship. A law U.S. President Donald Trump has criticized. His administration says new travel policy is necessary to safeguard U.S. national security and public health. Listen to that bit. It's necessary to safeguard U.S. national security and public health. Mr. Trump has sought to limit immigration to the U.S. and has previously questioned the U.S. constitutional amendment that grants citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States. Now, what is the new rule? Yeah? The new rule applies to visitors seeking B visas, which are issued to non-immigrants. It allows consular officials to deny a visa to any individual whose primary purpose in obtaining such documentation is to give birth in the United States. The final rule addresses concern about the attendance risk of this activity to national security. The birth tourism industry is also rife with criminal activities, including international criminal schemes, the policy adds. Now you get the gist, right? You get the gist, right? So they decided to, to clamp down. This is what I'm saying. However angry you choose to get, this still goes back to African leaders who are corrupt, who are siphoning the national funds on a daily basis by the millisecond and blatantly letting down their citizens. The basic amenities are barely available. So I don't think you should sit down and be talking about, oh, the US, this, the US. And let me tell you, it has got, sorry, 1 second. It's got nothing to do with security. It's all about limiting foreign-born parents getting a passport for their kids through the back door. Of course, I know that. Maury, I know that. Thank you for typing that. Of course. But I'm just addressing, in addition to that, of course I know. Because, again, I always talk about this. For a long time, so many people have benefited from this. So many people have gone abroad to the US, had their babies, gotten passports for their babies. I personally know persons who have gone, had the first baby, travel back to Africa, and then go back again, get pregnant, have, 3 children, all born in the States, have passports for them and stuff, right? And there's been major records of abuse as well, where people travel, take advantage of the healthcare system, run the bills sky high, and then they run back to their country. Let's call a spade a spade. Look, I'm not an advocate for Donald Trump. Like I said from the start, I don't give a rat's backside about what's it called, about Donald Trump. I can't stand the dude. But I'm talking from, purely about, the American interest. People abuse the system. So for those of you that come and then you start saying, oh, yeah, blah, 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 you're talking nonsense. You're talking nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Let's begin to hold African leaders. Let's begin to hold them responsible for their catastrophic failings, for failing to provide basic amenities and all the necessary things. Why shouldn't the Americans be on a long queue, be dying to come to Nigeria, Ghana, and all the other African countries in droves? We're talking national security in Nigeria is zero. Basic amenities, zero. There is a high level of joblessness. So basically, risk of, people are out of work, security is at zero, everyone is desperate. You think the American embassies in Africa, when they see those crazy daily long queues, they know that there's a difference between I genuinely want to go on holiday to America, right? But there is a massive queue of people who are desperate. You don't even have to be a psychologist to know someone in front of you is bloody desperate. That will give you, there is evidences of fake documentations, and people would do anything just because they want to get out. They know. The fundamental problem that we have, I would say Nigeria, for example. Look at the Nigerian leaders. Okay. Take, for example, I made a video on Wednesday about Nigeria being on the list of the newly banned countries. Today is Friday. What has the Nigerian government done about the announcement from the US? Have they done anything? Have they stepped forward to ask for meetings? Have they done anything to repair the image of the country, to challenge the American government, to say they want to sit down, to say, no, nothing. We look like a bunch of clowns. We are seen like they look at us like doormats. The citizens are limited in terms of capacity and what you can do, right? Where are the leaders? Where are the Nigerian leaders? What's the Tanzanian government doing about it? Some people are saying, oh, it's a strategy because Donald Trump is trying to wriggle away from the impeachment, or because he wants to get in the next election. You know what? If that's Donald Trump's political strategy, I give him credit in that wise. I'm not talking about anything else. Put the morality aside for a moment that relates to Donald Trump. He told the American people, I'm going to do X, Y, Z for the Americans. He's doing it. Maybe it's a political card. That's a totally different conversation. So, what is it that we are doing as a country in Africa, the countries in Africa? What are you doing to fix your own palaver, to fix your own country, to make sure that your own citizens earn properly? And okay, check this out. Check this. Nigeria is a country of about 200 million people. Check this. This is a publicly available information. The Nigerian president has been known in the past years or several months ago to have health problems. What did he do? He disappeared from Nigeria. He disappeared to the UK. Here, he came to England for medical treatment. Nigeria is a nation of over 200 million citizens. What does that tell you about the healthcare system in Nigeria? So, if the American government believe that you are basically putting undue pressure on their own immigration system, on their own healthcare and public services, who are we to blame them? You feel entitled. You want the bar to be lowered, to in fact the bar to be on the ground level, so you can just walk in, we can destroy, siphon. No, let's be candid though. I don't live in your house. I have not contributed to the food shopping in your house. I come through the back door. I bring my plate of food with my friends and my families, and we take a long spoon, we dip into your pot, we steal your food, we eat, we drink, we go into your toilet, we blast the toilet with our feces, we leave the place in the right state, and then we want to carry on repeating the process. But you keep paying for the food though. We keep coming through the back door. We keep eating your food. We keep, sleeping in your bed. We leave your toilet in the messy state, your bathroom. We destroy everything. We run up the bills. We run up your telephone bills. We leave the place in the mess. We run back out through the back door. We go and get more friends. Hey, yo, let's go. There's free food. You can go in there. But we leave you to pick up the pieces. Come on, man. You see how that works? On one hand, I understand the plight of the average Nigerian or any other African brother or sister who wants to get the hell out of a system that's basically deprived them of having the basic standard of living. But at the same time, can we use that as a justifiable reason for a crazy influx into other people's country whereby we blatantly violate their immigration rules and regulations. We go there, we outrightly violate, we inundate them with fraudulent documents, and we don't want them to say a word. Come on, man. This is why some people would say, fix your country. See, if somebody says, hey, yo, man, why can't you people fix your country? I don't think, especially if it's a white person, it shouldn't be a case of, oh, that's racist. No, it's not. Because they have the right to feel some type of way like, whoa, you're not even a permanent resident. You just come in, you abuse the system, you take advantage, and then you run. Come on, man. Come on. My brothers and sisters, I love Africa as much as you might claim to love Africa, man. The people that are sabotaging the chances of Africa, Africa is actually on the dining table. They're knifing Africa, carving into Africa on a daily basis. The resources of Africa are being siphoned on a daily basis. And the people that are supervising the daily criminalities, the daily process of smashing into Africa and draining and sucking out the resources of Africa, the people that are coordinating those daily frauds and sabotage are the African leaders. It's the African leaders. And the truth is, the African leaders, most of them are fraternized with the West. I'm not going to go deeper than that, but for those of you that can read between the lines, they fraternized. They fraternized with them, and a bunch of African leaders are just puppets. They do as they are told. So this is why they can never give you constant electricity, provide jobs, do the necessary things, and cater to the interest of the citizens. Africa has unbelievable amount of resources. How come the West keep coming to take and take and take, but you want to keep complaining about America changing their own rules? They just watch the resources go straight to Europe daily in Northern Africa. Of course, I could only imagine seeing hundreds of semi-trucks traveling. Yeah, man. The thing that really pisses me off is people want to complain, just because a lady wrote on Instagram, Trump is a foolish man. I was just planning to travel. I was just planning to travel to America to go and have my own baby. He has now sabotaged it. He's a useless. I just shook my head. Take Nigeria, for example. Somebody like Omowole Sowore, an activist, an ex, presidential candidate that was unlawfully detained by the Nigerian, government because he posed a threat to them and because he was leveling accountability at them. They didn't like his vibe, what he was saying, right? The guy, he took on the beast, which is the corrupt government. He was unlawfully detained. His lawyers had to fight tooth and nail to get him released. Do you know what's funny? The same citizens that this dude was fighting for are the same citizens that are condemning him. This is why I keep saying to you, we have a long way to go, man. If I sit here, I make content, right? I use my platform and I'm talking and I say, hey, man, you want to come to England, right? Do it properly. Come through the proper channels. You want to go to the States, you want to go to Canada, right? Because you see, and then some idiots, some fish-brained people within our communities, because you live abroad, it's very convenient for you to sit there and be blowing grammar, Phrankleen. Oh, is that right? Because the dummies don't know that when you get an American visa and then you land on the shores of America and then you run to the border that America shares with Canada and then you go put your hands up for Canadian, is it amnesty? What do you call it? Refugee application. And then they say, you got an American visa, right? They're going to their database and they're like, dude, but you said back in Nigeria, you are the principal of a private school. You own the school. You said you work in the bank. You earn about $6,000 monthly. Oh wow! What's going on? What you said you got 3 children. You got 12 member of staff, and what the? And then they look at you. They can see, even a 5-year-old can see, and then the slam dunk you, ask you to get out. How did Rwanda rise from the ashes into a Singapore-style country without oil? What's Nigeria doing? This is what I'm saying. Nigeria is Nigeria's own number one enemy. What are you talking about, man? Rwanda is because Rwanda decided to change the narrative. They decided to stand up to the West, their leaders. Look at the Rwandan president. They decided to stand up and do something about their own situation. Yeah. If they carry on like this in another 5 years, in another 10 years, in another 15 years, in another 20 years, there will be a world power. Do you get what I'm saying? You can dislike Donald Trump all you like. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like his, ideology and whatnot. He's a racist, cunt. I can't stand him. But you know what? Put all that on the shelf. He's catering to the American interest. And if the Americans that are voting for him are happy, why would I want to complain? Why do you feel entitled to another country's borders? It amazes me. On one hand, like I said, I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you for wanting to better your life. But don't feel entitled to, I'm going to go to this country and I expect them to lower the bar. So you want to go abuse their own healthcare system and you want them to do nothing about it. Come on, man. Rwanda has been stealing from my country. I don't know about that. Right on. Every country has a right to do as they like with their borders. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm giving you a classic example, right? What's the Nigerian government? The Nigerian president has health issues. He's elderly. The man is old. Every time he jumps on the private jet, he flies to England. He disappears for weeks. So what does that tell you? Imagine the British Prime Minister, right? Think about it. The royal family, the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, right? Prince Philip, her husband, when they are poorly, they've got a specialist hospital based here in the UK. They've got the best doctors that can take care of them. They've got the tools, they've got the gadgets, they've got everything. They take care of them within the confines of England. Imagine the Queen having to fly to Nigeria for health treatment. She'll end up dead. The Nigerian president flies to the UK. It tells you all you need to know about the system, though, right? It just tells you all you need to know. That the system is broken. So imagine the average citizen. Oh, let me break it to you, man. This is 2020. There are people in Nigeria, right? I don't know about other African countries. We've got similar issues, but I'm talking about Nigeria. There are people in Nigeria in 2020 that still die of malaria. There are drugs to treat malaria, but I'm talking about inability to pay for medications. It's disgraceful. So for those of you that are going, have your babies in the States, oh well, tough. Hey, bro, hey, Brian, please, respectfully, my brother, stop saying don't blame Nigerians. That statement infuriates me. Until you start to acknowledge what's wrong, we're not going to progress. I said it at the start. I cannot knock someone for saying, for example, oh, I would like to go to England and hopefully my children, so they can have a better future, they can have a better chance, for maybe better educational system. I'd like to go to migrate to Canada. I'd like to, move my family to maybe United States. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Nobody's knocking you for that. But you see the ripple effect of gaming the system, abusing the immigration system of these countries when they keep building data, right? The ripple effect is your brothers and sisters behind you will be the ones to suffer. Imagine me sat here. Let me give you an example. Everybody needs money. I need X amount of money as I'm sat here to do certain things, right? So imagine me, just because I need money. Check this out, right? I need money. You're watching me, you also need money. So I get myself a balaclava and a baseball bat, and then I hit the high street of the UK. I go into one of the high street banks, right? Smash through the glass, take a bag load of money, and then on the way out, I get apprehended by the police. They take me to court, and I say, oh yeah. So Mr. Phrankleen, why did you go rob the bank? You had a balaclava on, you did this, you did that. Oh yeah, because I'm broke. Because I need money. Oh, is that right? Because I need money. If you were watching me on the national TV, on the news, I bet you'd be the first to say, oh, look at this guy. Who doesn't need money? That can never be a justification. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? And you know what's funny? A lot of these countries, they have very, very sophisticated databases and system. They gather data on a daily basis. Back in Africa, most African countries, we are lapsed with data storage and data gathering. They have unbelievable amount of data on us. So the fact that you tried to apply for a US visa back in 2009 and you were refused, and then you decide to apply in 2020. Oh, you think 2009 is just ages ago? No, they have that data from 2009. So they're going to place them juxtapose. They're going to juxtapose that data, and then they'll be like, oh, in 2009, he said this. In 2020, he said, oh, this dude is lying. He said this, and they catch you out. And they can share that data with neighboring countries. This is why it's very easy for them to blacklist people. Why did they ask for your fingerprints? So they can keep data on you. So if you come back another 10 years and you put your thumb on that system, they know, they recognize you, because the system is gonna allot them. Oh, yeah, we have a history on this guy. Oh, we have a history on this lady. I personally have heard stories of people that go have children, babies abroad. They have the babies and they run. Or they pay some of the medical bills and they run. Come on, man. Let's call a spade a spade. You want to sit there and justify and tell me that's fair? I think it's evil. If they didn't have a tax, a good system in place for you to have journeyed to go have your babies, would you have gone there though? You didn't take that pregnancy. You didn't decide to go have that baby in Sri Lanka. You didn't decide to fly to Cambodia. Again, nobody's stopping you from migrating abroad, but you can do it properly. If you're unable to afford it today, you can be a bit patient and work towards it. Do what you have to do, get a sponsor, do things, and then have a shot. And you get your visa and then you move. And you go start your life. But we want to go abuse things, and then when they move the goalposts, we start complaining. And then when somebody like Phrankleen talks about it, oh, it's because you live in England. Oh, it's because, oh, please, man. Well, yeah, like the birth tourism law. I think that goes live today. Let's see some of the comments. Can't people see that African Americans want to return to Africa? Why are Africans running the opposite direction? Well, they're looking for a better life. Call a spade a spade. People whining should stop getting emotional about another man's country. If America plays ban on Nigeria, so what? Nigeria should go plays ban on America as well. Easy. Right on, man. You're on track. I don't tire for Nigeria leaders. Yeah, you see, my own primary anger, what I get it, what really angers me is the shameless, the cowardly African leaders. Let's keep that same energy. Let's channel that energy towards African leaders. Maybe it's time for anarchy. Maybe it's time for, protest. Maybe let's hit the road. Let's have placards. Let's hold the local government chairman, your senators, the people in the House of Rep, your governors, hold them responsible. Hold the presidents responsible for the catastrophic failings. Hold the local corrupt police officers that will blatantly shoot people in the middle of the road, that will extort people, that oppress the average Nigerian, the average Ghanaian, the average Tanzanian. Let's hold them responsible for their failings. Don't throw your anger at the Americans. It's just pointless venture, man. The Americans, the Europeans will always cater to their own interest. Whether it's moral or immoral, they will always cater to their own interest. What are we doing in Africa? Do you see? Look at what someone said. A friend came, let me read that. A friend came, had a baby, absconded, did not pay her $30,000 bill. Now, I'll tell you one quick story. I know someone who went to America to have a baby some time ago. So it was calculated that the medical bill was going to be maybe roughly $7,000 or $8,000, just for having a baby and all that. Then complications at the time of birth kicked in, right? And then afterwards, the whole complication was sorted and all that stuff. And then she ran. She ran off. And the bill, as I learned from a reliable source, the medical bill was about roughly $60,000. Who picks up those bills? It's the taxpayer that lives within the American system, that works long hours, that pay religiously on a daily basis into the system. And you, in your tiny little mind, you think you are clever. You go somewhere, you run up a bill of $60,000 and you leg it. And then you have the audacity to, they're changing the rules. They changing the rules. Is that right? But you know what annoys me, right? You know what annoys me? It's the fact that you cannot run up a $60,000 bill in Nigeria. You can't do that, man. In most of these private hospitals in Nigeria, for example, they're asking you for money up front. They're asking you for money up front. You don't have the deposit. You don't have the money for the care package. They don't care if you die in the corridor. They're cold-blooded. But it's okay to jump on the plane, have your baby, collect the passport, run up a medical bill of 60,000 US dollars, and run back and pretend like nothing is wrong, and you want to go back and have more babies. Man, a tiny bit of being reasonable, just a tiny amount of being reasonable, a tiny bit of compassion, sensibility will go a long way, my people. Okay? I'm advocating for affordness, but come on, man. Come on. I get it. desperate times, desperate measure. I'm trying to get out. Nigeria is failing me. Ghana is letting me down. I get that, man. I've got relatives. I've got extended family members. Want to travel abroad, but I'm someone. I use my voice positively. I'm not like on the high horse. Like, oh, why do you want to come to England? What? My father doesn't own England, but I talk to them. Hey, yo, okay, what's your background? You see someone, you're in your early 40s. You have no educational background. You have nothing. I want to come to England. I want to come to England. To come and do what? You're 42, for God's sakes. You don't even have O levels. There is no proper educational background. You have no writing skills. You have no proper is it speaking skills, or how do you say it? You can't even articulate yourself to save your life. This is not a diss. I want to come to England. Yeah, I want to come to England. I want to come and make pound sterling. Oh, is that right? Oh, is that right? Oh, is that right? You can't even spell. You can't. You don't have a understanding of a basic joke construct. You don't understand sarcasm. You cannot articulate yourself. And then you get through the back door. And then what happens is, then you get there and then reality slaps you in the face. Kapow! And then you realize that, holy moly, you're permanently relegated to the bottom of the barrel. It's hard. This is England. You think it's a joke. I know people, like, so like, hey, I don't want to sound like because some people have this mentality whereby they think you're trying to show that you're better off. I know people that they've been here a long time, and you're having a conversation with them. They don't even get sarcasm. They don't have a sense of humor. They get nothing. They don't even understand the society, and so interacting within the so-called society is a problem, and they blame everybody. I don't know, man. Yeah, they got no banter. It's not their fault. Their system has failed. Yeah, thank you, Kazim. This is what I'm trying to say, right? It's the system that has failed, rotten. Sometimes when I go to Nigeria, let's call it spade a spade. You see the youngins, right? They're graduates. They're telling you that, oh, I graduated from this polytechnic. I graduated from this university, right? As a human being, I've got a degree of compassion in me. I'm feeling bad for them because they haven't got jobs or they're moaning about the government. We know the government is whack. But then I'm talking to you one-on-one, right? You're telling me you're applying for a job interview and stuff. And I'm looking at your CV. I saw somebody's, was it last year or the year before? I saw somebody's cover letter for a job interview. I nearly ran across the road. I have never seen so much grammatical error compressed into one A4 paper page. And I said to the lady, I said, are you taking a piss? Are you winding me up? This is your cover letter for a job interview. And she was all uppity about it. Yes, it is. Is that right? That's your cover letter for a job interview. How in the hell? The tenses are wrong. I mean, and she claims to be a graduate. You can't write. Don't have a rudimentary understanding of grammar. What in the... You see, it hurts me because in the front end, they tell you they are graduates. But these are the new generation of illiterates that are disguised as graduates. I was talking to someone and I said, oh, can you know, what can you do with Microsoft Excel? So, who you app? For those of you that are watching that are Nigerians, who you app is a slang like, who does that help? How does that benefit me? What's in, how? And then you want to travel to the West. And then when you get to the West, then it exposes how far behind you are. and then you start to play catch up for the next decade to come. We don't talk about these things. But you know what's funny? When you talk to your average black brother and black sister and say, hey man, fix up. You know what? They put up a defense mechanism. They think, you're trying to flex on them, like, your superiority complex. And no, I'm naturally a passionate person. I'm having a honest conversation. It's just like me, I'm sat here. If somebody sees me, if you love me enough, you tell me the truth. And I'll say, yo, you can't even. Okay, I'll tell you this final one before I go. There was a guy that I met in Nigeria, and he told me about going to the US embassy. This was years ago. I laughed my head off. And dude said he went for a visa interview, and then he didn't get the visa, right? So I then pressed a bit further, and I said, what happened? Tell me, what did the consular say to you, and all that? And then he said, the consular said, watch this. So when do you plan on coming back after your stay in the United States, after your holiday? That's just a normal question. The consular is trying to establish that you, as you've stipulated, you genuinely have ties. They're trying to look at your body language. They're trying to weigh your responses so that they can make an informed decision about your visa within minutes. Because they only have minutes. And guess what this man said? What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not coming back? The woman didn't say you're not coming back. She said, so do you intend to come back? That's an avenue for you. Basically, it's like pitch me your intentions. And then you're telling the consular behind the glass, what do you mean? What? What do you mean? So, do you know what's funny, right? I was having this conversation with this man, and he didn't even get it. He felt some type of way. Man's looking at me like, but bro, you have to let this Oyinbo people know. I said, whoa. Bro, you're not going to get this. You see, let me tell you, unfortunately, the brother is a product of his environment, whereby every little thing comes with that aggression, like, what do you mean, do I want a bottle of water? Okay, thank you. You think you have a point to prove. I said, no, just, it's a question. Respond and try to convince that person, not for you to get defensive and start to insult them. So you can imagine. I can imagine that lady behind the glass, like, oh wow, so this one wants to go to this. Okay, all right, and then she basically terminated the interview, and then he acts surprised that he didn't get the visa. How? I wish, in fact, I intend to make a video on, I'm working on this in the background, potential interview tips, what to look for, how to respond, maybe it can help someone. I'm going to make that video someday and put it on my channel, because that's another problem. The formative years, which is the teenage years of a lot of people, how you grew up, the sort of environment, what you're used to, it affects you when you get into adulthood, when you start going through life. Some people don't have a sense of humor. Like, I've been somewhere, and this is not trying to put my people down, I'm just saying facts, right? This guy, he newly came from Nigeria here, and then I was there. This was in 2018, I think. And we're just chatting, and the guy was like, like when you're talking here, like, oh, really? Did that guy say that? Oh, shut up, man. Really? Oh, you're joking. Oh, shut up. This guy that had just come from Nigeria, my man just got angry. He's like, what? Excuse me, don't speak to me like that. What do you mean, shut up? I said, whoa, dude. He doesn't mean shut up as in shut up. It's like a slang. It's like, oh. It's like somebody says, oh, get out of here. Are you serious? Really? But Go dust it off straight. Eh? Nigga, shut up. I'm telling you, man. Dude, sister, oh, shut up. You're joking. But he took that word, shut up, in my country. You can't talk to me like that. Whoa, holy moly. The whole atmosphere collapsed. Yo, chill. And we had to speak Yoruba to guy, relax. And the guy was like, I was enjoying the conversation with you. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. This is what we call cultural difference. So imagine that sort of guy. You're here now. You're trying to marry someone who grew up in America. And then that's your girlfriend. Oh, shut up. Eh? In my country, a woman cannot tell a man. Holy moly, man. So anyway, I wish you all the best, man. For those of you that are trying to travel, just do it properly, man. Just do it properly. Just do it properly. Oh, my days. Oh, I've spent 15 minutes, man. Yeah, I love my people, man. I'll always root for, black folk generally, it's, I'd love us to move forward as a people. Stop having a go at, the leaders of other countries, man. Let's hold those bastards back home. Let's hold them responsible for the catastrophic failings. It's your boy, Phrankleen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace and love. Bye now.